potential terrorists. As we speak, they're probably roaming the United States soil as we speak, anonymous and, of course, undocumented. The administration needs to take action now. Sadly, my expectations are low, though. Biden is aiding and abetting the worst border crisis in United States history, which may be what he is remembered for most when he is, God willing, run out of office. Joining me now to discuss further is former Director of Special Operations with the Drug Enforcement Administration, Derek Maltz. Derek, welcome to Frontline. I'm really happy to be talking to you again.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Derek, I remember interviewing you about a year ago, and you were telling me about tranq and how it eats away at the flesh. We are seeing that tranq, we're seeing the fentanyl flooding the streets. Now the White House has also announced a plan to cut tranq dope. Their plan includes handing out testing kits. We're seeing it here in New York City that they have vending machines for the needles. Is this the right way where we should stop people from dying?
Absolutely not. I mean, China is selling the tranq on their websites now. It's dirt cheap, just like they started selling K2 spice bath salts back in 2008. And then they went to fentanyl in 2012 when we started seeing mass casualties in America. This president, known as the illegal migrant president, must be held accountable for all the death and destruction. Now, let me just say this, Lidia, this is very important from my perspective. This president, in December of 21, he said that international drug trafficking is an extraordinary and unusual threat to national security. The DHS secretary finally came out and said the record number of Americans dying of fentanyl is now the single greatest challenge we've ever faced as a country. And the families across the country are being devastated, as the Attorney General said. The DEA #1 and #2 has said the cartels are the greatest criminal threat the United States has ever faced. But here's the best. You ready for this? FBI Director Wray has said that there's no doubt the greatest long-term threat to the nation is the national security issues we face from China. So the question is this. We have now gone from 342 Chinese nationals that came in when Joe Biden, his first year, now we're over 12,500. Why the hell are the Chinese middle-aged men, military-aged men coming into this country, and how many are in the gotaways? 1.5 million gotaways. So this is a national security crisis like we've never seen. And I'm not just throwing the flag to get everyone all wound up. I have kids. I have friends that have kids, grandkids. This is the future. This is what we're dealing with. Look at the amount of migrants that are dying, coming in and baking in the desert. But you don't hear anything about that. How is this a more humane way to bring people into the country? So anyway, I could go on, Lydia. As you know, I get cranked up.
Yeah, so do I, right? What do you think about me saying in the beginning there that Mexico, they need to be doing something about this? Seriously, they're just allowing everybody to come freely through, and then we're throwing hundreds of millions of dollars at them? How is that right?
So, Lydia, great point. You know what the #1 thing I'm being told by all leaders in the drug enforcement efforts in America? The biggest obstacle they have now is the Mexican government, because the systemic corruption down there, they're on the payroll, they're working for the cartels run everything, including the border, so that's never going to change. That's why I personally have been very vocal about maybe using, or at least offering the use of military capabilities to go after these cartels. Because what we're doing, treating them like criminals, is not working. And more people are going to die.
Do you remember back when Trump said that he actually wanted to bomb the drug labs and bomb the cartels? He said, let's treat them like the terrorists that they are. And people were so upset about it. How different things would be right now if we kind of followed through with what Trump had been saying. I mean, his instincts are pretty on point.
Right. So that's real simple, because I lived this nightmare, Lydia. I've been calling for this over 5 years. The reality is that the State Department bureaucrats, they provide so much money, and their policies, force multiplier, we work together. It's a lot of words. But at the end of the day, here's what I want to know. Can anybody identify any terrorist organization that has killed more Americans in the history of our country? The answer is no. So then why are we treating Mexico and the Mexican cartels as like our friends? We have to go after them like they've never been gone after in the history of our country, because that's what they're doing to our kids and our future.
I was saying it earlier. We've got like 30 seconds left. People don't understand. We're talking about thousands of people dying every single day, overdosing on the streets. I can guarantee you can't find a single person on the street that hasn't been affected in some shape or form by drug addiction. Derek, why isn't this administration taking this seriously? This is a health crisis, a national security crisis, a family crisis. This is serious stuff here.
Well, I wish I can answer that, because it doesn't make any sense. It's not logical, other than to get the votes. They don't want to, upset the apple cart by letting millions and millions of people into the country, because they want to secure all future elections. So that's the only thing. Last thing I'll say is this month alone, the drug cartel set off roadway bombs and killed Mexican cops. That's tactics used by terrorists right on the other side of our border.
Derek Maltz, thank you so much. And I love your passion and fire. Never lose it.
Thank you.
All right, plenty ahead.